This is a whole strip loin from Costco. I paid $120 for it. Today I want to find out if I can beat the grocery store. Remember, this was $120 worth of New York strip steaks, and this is $120. Do you think I can beat the grocery store? Let's find out. My name is Brad and I am the Butcher Wizard. On this channel, we cut meat, we cook meat, we eat meat. And I am the one who teaches you how to save a ton of money cutting meat yourself. And today we're going to save money on the New York strip. Let's get our station set up and let's get to cutting. Let's set up our station. We're gonna need a large cutting board. I use a cutting board that measures about 20 inches by 15 inches. I will put a little wet paper towel underneath it so that it doesn't slip around, so it's a nice solid surface. Next, we're gonna need a long knife. So you can use a 10-inch breaking knife like this one from the Butcher Wizard collection, or you can use just your standard longest knife that you have. Maybe it's a chef's knife, as long as it's nice and sharp. Then we'll get a bowl for the scraps and a sheet tray for the finished product, and we will be on our way and ready to cut. Cool black gloves are optional, but encouraged depending on your comfort level with raw meat. Definitely don't forget the most important item, lots of paper towels. You'll see in a minute. I'm gonna show you why. So what we're gonna do is take basically a bed of paper towels here, maybe 2 deep. Put them right there. Then we're gonna take this out of the package. You know, there's a lot of liquid in here. There's a little bit of liquid in here. And that is not blood, that is myoglobin. Now, myoglobin is a combination of protein and water that has leached out of the strip loin itself. And so we need to make sure that, again, it is not blood, but we're gonna make sure we keep it clean, we're gonna keep it in the package. So what we're gonna do is take our knife and just make a huge X across the whole thing. And that way it all opens up. Package opens up pretty easy. And we can just simply lift this strip loin, keeping as much of the liquid in the package as possible. You put it on the paper towels, and then we will cover it with a couple more. Remember I said we need lots of paper towels, so we cover it a little bit more. And then this can be cleaned up very easy. All right, so like I said earlier, this is our strip loin that's weighed in at a little over 12 pounds. So basically what the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna square off the edge so it makes a nice even steak. So again, on this side, you're just gonna go ahead and cut off as little as you can to make sure that steak is nice and square. Again, butcher snack, go ahead and throw this in a pan and enjoy that after you're done cutting all of your meat. That's our little secret, okay? Butcher snack. So the way you're gonna go ahead and cut this thing is you're gonna start from the top here, and you're gonna get underneath that fat layer, and then you're gonna take your breaking knife and you are going to slide back in one solid motion, lifting your elbow up slightly so that this tip does its job. It goes down, cuts through, and all the way down. Again, you want to make sure it's nice and straight. So we're going to go through that little top layer a little bit, start at the top, come all the way back. So you have a nice, even cut for your New York strip. Wait. I did forget slightly that we're comparing to the grocery store. So let me bust open one of those packages. Let's see how thick they're cutting them so I can cut the same thickness so we can really test to see how many I get out of this whole strip loin. Here's our package from the grocery store. The width of these steaks are about 1 inch. So we're gonna take our strip loin and cut 1-inch steaks. Now, this is gonna pain me because I love a New York strip, but I like it nice and thick. So I'm gonna cut these just so we can compare, but I'm not gonna be happy about it when it comes time to cook them. I'm gonna tell you that. That's a great thing of what we're doing. You're gonna save some money, yes, but you're also gonna get to customize. Whether you want thin steaks, thick steaks, you wanna make a strip roast, get crazy. I've done a video on that, by the way. Go check it out on the channel. You can make a strip roast just like a prime rib, and it's so good. But you can get all kinds of crazy with the customization. So it really is a win-win any way you slice it. And yes, that was a pun intended. Now, if you want to ensure a proper thickness, I go ahead and use a tape measure. Again, I usually cut these by eye, and I just make huge, big, juicy New York strips. But like for today, I want to make 1 inch thick. So I'm going to grab my tape measure, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it down on the board here. And then I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna score about every inch, just so I make sure that we are keeping with the 1-inch steak here. So we're just gonna go ahead and start cutting these steaks. Again, like I said before, sliding all the way back, lifting that elbow up, and you got a beautiful New York strip steak. We are actually going to trim these up a little bit later, so I'm gonna show you about, after we're done cutting, I'll show you how to trim them. I want to take a quick break from saving you all tons of money to let you all know about the Primal Cuts Club. The Primal Cuts Club is my members-only community in which we go a level deeper. This is kind of like a 10,000-foot view of how to save money on meat. In the Primal Cuts Club, we go way deeper. This is for the person who wants to take their meat saving to another level. I'm going to personally teach you how to cut meat and how to save a ton of money. So we go over the New York strip. We go over a ribeye, we go over a chuck roll. We have lots and lots of lessons about different cuts of beef that we are going to break down and save a bunch of money. And the videos are much different than I do on YouTube. They're top down, they're kind of like a culinary school class. I used to teach culinary school, and this is the closest I have found to culinary school meat butchery on the internet. And if you get stuck, twice a month we have live Q&A calls in which I will answer your questions. We do some live cuts. Anytime you have a question, I'm there to answer it. If you like this video, this club is for you. Go ahead, click the link in the description, and I can't wait to see you in there. All right, so I want to go back a couple of cuts and just show you this one thing about the New York strip. So you'll see this a lot when you go to the grocery store. There's right here is a section of top sirloin. So there's a little round piece right here. The strip loin sits next to the sirloin. So there's a little bit of top sirloin that gets into the New York strip. So the last couple of cuts are gonna have this little bit of top sirloin in it. Now, when you're cutting like this and you're just putting them on the grill, sirloin is a delicious piece of meat. It's great. When you're buying the cut steak, you want to make sure that you don't get this, because what you're doing is you're paying a New York strip price for that piece of top sirloin. So just something to watch out for. No big deal, but just kind of like you can think about it next time you see it in the grocery store. Now I'm going to go back through all the cuts and we're going to go ahead and trim them up. Again, trimming, it's back to that customization. You can leave them just like you want, or you can trim them a little bit. I'm gonna show you how I would trim it if I was at a butcher shop. So how you're gonna get that best taste experience from the New York strip. All right, so with this particular cut, the first thing I'm gonna do is take off this little piece of connective tissue that's right here on the tip. So we're gonna go ahead and stretch that out and then just cut this down. This little translucent piece of connective tissue right here is really chewy, and we can just skip that. And then what I'll do is I'll look at it and see what the fat cap is on the top. And this one looks pretty good to start out with. I'll trim it down just a little bit. Kind of that 1/4 inch of fat is about standard for a New York strip. So we'll look at it. That actually looks pretty good. We'll check the bottom. So check the bottom to see if there's any little connective tissue here. Anything that looks like it's going to be gristly, we'll take that down too. And then just kind of shape it up. And this is our whole New York strip completely trimmed. This one didn't require a lot of trimming, so that's good. Other steaks are gonna require a little more trimming. I'm gonna go ahead and trim the rest of these, and then we will reconvene and count how many steaks that we bought for $120 compared to the grocery store. I can't wait, I'm really excited to see this. Now for the results. What do we get for our $120 at the grocery store? Let's break them open, let's figure it out. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. For 120 bucks, we got 10 of these steaks, these 1-inch steaks from the grocery store. Now let's go into count how many we got from our cuts. Let's go check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is also a fun game to see how high I can stack them. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Uh-oh. Timber. All right, so we paid equal amounts. We got $120 of cut steaks from the grocery store, and we got $120 for my whole strip loin. As you can see, we got 10 steaks from the grocery store, and we got 14 steaks from cutting them ourselves. And I have to admit, I got a few thick boys in here. I probably could have got 1 or 2 more steaks. My body just won't do it. My hands just won't cut those thin steaks. Whew, I hate them. But as you can see, you get much more value from cutting them yourself. Thank you for coming with me on this journey, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. What's for lunch? We're having strip steaks apparently because I have a ton of them. Go get you a Primal Cuts cookbook and figure out what to do with all these steaks. Go check Amazon, Barnes & Noble today. It's available.